Alright, it's time for a YCS metagame discussion. What the format's going to be like after we all settle down. It is, of course, a Monday morning out here in sunny Robbie's kitchen. It's a great, glorious place. Many discussions have been had here. Many blue shirts have been ruined. And, of course, many other Robbies live their pathetic existence in this hollowed space. So, without further ado, let's dig on into what's going on with the metagame. Oh, right. YCS concluded yesterday. We had a discussion last night about it. Everything was going fucking peachy until, well, needed to realize that we needed to retouch on some of this. So the first one we're going to be talking about is Danger FTK. Now, for those of you that don't know, Soul Fusion just came out into existence. If you're living under a rock, I have some really questionable news for you. Danger FTK is here. Now, it all revolves around Firewall, Cannon Soldier, to create this immense loop, in addition to the consistency of Dark World, which I thought we had forgotten about. You guys remember? Hey, anybody remember Dark World? No. Nobody gives a shit about Dark World at this point in time. Everyone's forgotten about it. It was under a rock. We were doing fine until they returned card destruction. Morphin jar. PTSD's. I hated that format so much. Like, interactions are bad. Now the community's up in arms. They're like, oh my god, I have to deal with an FTK. Calm down. It might be 4 weeks of it, it might be 5. Konami will eventually ban Cannon Soldier, or they'll address the issue in some way. Ban Firewall, but it's not gonna happen at this point. But now it's come to light that there's an FTK. A few people knew about it. I was hearing about rumors of it. I didn't really think much about it because, something that seemed like it had a relatively low consistency rate just didn't really appeal to me. And, well, here we are. Shocker. So, we've reached the point of Danger being a tier 1 deck. It's almost like Burning Abyss all over again. The only difference was BA was good from so was Danger. Also, in addition here, if you guys want part 2 of this, remember, like this video, comment it, and we'll get into more of the rogue side. Now, the next one that we need to talk about is Thunder Dragons. And I've heard a lot of good and bad about Thunder Dragons. Now, you would think being able to produce a Thunder King or IO, stop your opponent from searching in their deck, would just get so many people super excited. You would think that the community would be happy that this deck exists. Fusion Monster with built-in protection is a really good call. It wasn't. But what you have to deal with are really large bodies. Instant Fusion being a relevant card again. Kaminari attack, warping out. A relatively huge Thunder Monster that stops searching. Another one that can destroy stuff on your turn. Trending to be Aether and Erebus and Trident, and here we are. We have this massive shitstorm to deal with in the form of a relatively easy combo deck to understand. You just have to open up Gold Sarcophagus, right? So many people have been so negative towards the Lure of Darkness in the deck. I'm actually surprised that this deck has even had legroom to grow. So many people do not physically understand that Allure is one of the best cards in the deck, and the negative connotation to the card is just, it's absurd. Aaron McGuinness was talking about playing 2 in his deck, and he said, yeah, you play 9, but like it still gets your deck going. It's all just combo extenders, getting you into the right play. People need to understand this. When you have a blocked out mentality towards a card option, you're going to have a relatively bad time. I think it's the best way to say it. I mean, it just becomes, you can't grow as a player if you have a fleeting dislike to something. That was something I had to learn ages ago. But stun-based decks out there, such as this, congratulations, Thunder Dragons. You are evidently sitting at the dinner table much higher than I thought you were going to be. Now, the one that won the YCS, the one that and get Goku. Okay, so Goku's still sitting at the dinner table. The deck still does what the deck does, but it's kind of funny to me because I was kind of rooting for the Danger FTK to beat Goku, because I'm so sick of Goku players getting this free metagame pass. Oh no, you combo me. Oh, fucking Count Chocula out here just being the combo master. I'm so sick of Goku at this point. The whole combo, it's still there. The consistency is still intact. I don't know what more you want from Goku. Players are... I think a lot of players might have been citing a little bit less for Goku. I mean, if a Thunder Dragon goes first and establishes that your opponent can't search monster, not only do you have to out that before you can start your combo, you have to out that before you can start your combo. You know what I mean? It's like you're staring at that, you're like, oh, well, can't go with Soul Day to out that, because you know your Goku's not going to be able to search. So you're just like, lovely. And you know, even Sky Strikers have that issue, but the deck's got more enemies in the format now, in the form of main decked cards, that it's actually insane. The only reason why Goku won the YCS was strictly just because Danger Dark World RNG'd itself, and I guess didn't have a consistent hand. So understand that if you're playing, the Goku U-Link is still there. Times haven't changed. There's nothing you or I or your mom can do about it. Alright, it's just a really bad situation in general. Hopefully they'll clean up Goku on the list, but for now, for the competitive format, it is still pretty much intact, and there's nothing we can do about it. Now, this was an interesting one to me. Sky Striker, it's not that the deck's falling off, but the deck seems like it's falling off. Now, I don't know why Sky Striker is just kind of disappearing. I understand that Thunder Dragons, you're not always going to have the Widow Anchor already present in hand with massive ways to unload spells. All right, that's an issue in and in itself. So if you're playing against Thunder Dragons 1, you need to be able to have a Widow Anchor to turn off Colossalus. If you don't have the Widow Anchor, well, fuck, you're not going to be able to do anything. Most of the time, they're going to have built-in protection, so you're not going to be able to, like, afterburners it out. So just dealing with these large monsters is an issue for Sky Striker. And actually think I would say it. It takes relatively large monsters to beat a deck like this. When your opponent can just protection and disruption. They're the two things to disrupt something like Sky Strikers. And I mean, Sky Striker's a relatively slow deck as it is. Shark Cannon is good, but it's a deck that does take time to set up. And some Sky Striker cans can take 2 turns. Others, I mean, can start off relatively fine, but if you can't get that guarantee every single game, then when something like Thunder Dragons comes out of the woodwork, has this representation. And I mean, I think it was somebody was talking about, I think it was Aaron McGuinness in his regional report. It's like, I played 4 Sky Striker in a row, and you just side in 8 cards and you bop them. You know, Kaijus are really good against Sky Strikers, and it's taken this long for players to kind of realize that. And it's not a bad thing that the metagame it's kind of taken this long to figure out. You got to give it time for players to adapt, to learn the ropes, and everything will work out. But Sky Striker's representation going down this weekend, and I think this might start to be the thing. I think people are just sick of playing the Sky Strikers. They want to test the new things. Like, you have 2 new decks sitting at the table. It's a lot better than the one that we had. Now, there's a whole bunch of other decks, but there's only one more I want to cover for this video. And we're going to talk about Paleo Frog. Now, I think Paleo Frog deserves this because it made its way all the way to top 8. You have a good deck that can produce toads. Depending on your trap lineup, hear me out here, depending on what traps you're playing, you can get that pretty big disruption engine on your opponent. And I definitely think that it takes a lot more skill to set up for a very diverse format, just in terms of disruption for what you need to do for the deck and other things. So you have to understand, if you were looking at Paleo Frog as a deck to kind of disrupt the format, honestly, it wasn't a bad metagame call, but when you look at just how the overall event ran on its own, if you get by on playing Paleo just in terms of the deck construction department, in terms of getting to the right hand traps, getting the right combination of frogs set up, you're not going to have a bad time. And I definitely think that that's something a lot of people are going to have to take from the YCS, and especially the metagame. It's all about deck building. It's all about the right calls. It's all about the right RNG, because evidently Dark World FTK can just fail on its own. So that's all I have for this discussion. Like I said, I do want to talk about more of the rogue decks. Cyber Dragon being nowhere to be seen. This weekend it was the rogue hero of the last format. What the other Danger Dark World decks are doing, and just other really random things, because there's a lot going on in the metagame that I don't know if people are really seeing. And you've got Johnny Nguyen over here topping regionals with Noble Knights. So we'll talk about that in part 2. Alright guys, bye! The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel. And join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.